Hello everybody and welcome to this Angel's Place, Hard Survivor 4 as the German Reich, who is already expanding. So these guys, well, they don't really need this place anymore, so we can just pull them back a little bit and keep on going. Running into a shortage of some resources again, because we gained a lot of extra factories all of a sudden, therefore we're producing quite a lot of extra tanks. But it also means we need more tungsten, so let's get some more tungsten from Sweden. Get improved infantry equipment as well. Excellent. And I think it's time to keep increasing our industry. So let's start with concentrated industry number 3. And after this one is done, we're gonna go with the machine tools as well. Well, our Panzerkampfwagen 4 is being researched as we speak. I'm really happy that we can have 41 level technology that early in the game, and that's gonna definitely make a big difference to us, because we will be able to produce it a lot longer and therefore have more of it, and we will be able to outpower all our enemies. They will not be able to penetrate through our armor. And this is also like why it is so convenient to build so much refineries in the beginning, because we have quite a lot of oil surplus, so we don't have to import that at all, and especially rubber. Rubber is going to be really hard to get, especially when we get to war, and we have a base of 36 now. Well, 9 is being exported. It still leaves us with a lot of extra rubber, and we're going to need that especially for our motorized, and we will need a lot of motorized equipment, because all our medium tank brigades will be using motorized equipment. And I think, speaking of medium tank brigades, it's time for us to get some Panzer divisions training. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And give that the highest priority, which will lead to probably us having a shortage of motorized? Not even. Interesting. We'll have enough motorized for that. Well, they don't use that much motorized, so that's good. Of course, the problem will be the tanks itself, and we're trying to remedy that by increasing the production of it. And of course, it also needs to gain some production efficiency, which will be reduced once we start going with the new level of it, but at least it's ticking up, and it will not be completely down by the time we go for the next one. Pretty much all our factories will be catered towards building medium tanks from now on, I think. We are lacking significantly in the air, and that's gonna be a large point of problem for us right now. But we don't have the production for it. Though if you want to do this, just focus on having the power on the ground and power through, even though you don't have the air war. The hard difficulty, the veteran difficulty, does make it so that we have to make choices there. We finished the national focus, which means Bulgaria has seen territory that she considers her own, that's a weird sentence, handed to the Greece after both the Second Balkan War and the World War. And if we were to right this wrong, we would bind them to us. However, if they are not strong enough to claim it on their own, are they worthy enough to ally for us? I will say that Bulgaria is worthy enough to bind to us, so we're gonna let us bind Bulgaria to us. Which means they just gained some Greek territory. Claiming that they are attempting to ensure peace in the Balkans, Germany has presented the Greek government with a demand that they cede territory to Bulgaria. While Greece has protested immensely, the strength of German influence in the Balkans leaves them with little choice. The only way to avoid a confrontation with the German Reich is to allow German diplomacy to dictate their territorial integrity. Speaking of which, we're gonna decide the fate of Greece. Greece has proven that it cannot cope with the new forces unleashed upon Europe. It's time to offer them the protection that only Germany can provide. Which will lead to... no, I thought it will increase world tension as well, but it doesn't at least. Huh. Maybe it should. Maybe it depends on the outcome. Let's get more tungsten. The good thing is that tungsten is very, very present in Portugal, who pretty much always stays neutral. And yeah, that's good for us. It means we have a steady supply of tungsten even while the war is going. We're gonna get a new government modification. We already have him. So we can get somebody over here, or better yet, get some war economy going. Get some extra consumer good factories, and since we're building military factories, build them faster. We're now at the maximum of the production line for the Panzer III. I'm gonna add another production line for the Panzer already. And when factories come available, they would automatically be assigned to that. So halfway in 39 we will have the Panzerkampfwagen 4. I'm so excited about that. It's really good to have that early. Like really, really good. And though we are short on infantry equipment because of new deployment and stuff like that, I think it's about time we stop the new deployments. So, just gonna add one over here. That means after they are done with the production line, they will check, have we produced more than the current number of deployment series required? Yes, then we will cancel our deployment series. Well, we require more tungsten. This way we will be able to stock up a little bit of goods before the war starts. And since it is almost 39, the war will be coming quite close to us. Historically, in August 39, the war was declared on Poland, I believe. Somewhere around there. August or September, I'm not sure. But yeah, so we're probably striving for some historical accuracy around that as well, since, well, we are going that direction. We still need to get Sudetenland and Czechoslovakia, but after that, Danzig is becoming more interesting for us to go to war for. Well, the United States is 45% fascist already. Though our encryption, their encryption is too high and our decryption is too low that we can't see what their focus is at the moment. But Greece has submitted. Greece has accepted German demands to coordinate its policies with German, effectively turning Greece into a German puppet state. And they are now a puppet of the German Reich. Beautiful, isn't it? We can get a new national focus. I'm gonna go with claim Sudetenland. And we can invite somebody to the Axis. Hello, Bulgaria. We've made you friendly enough that you want to join the Axis. Good for you. Next up, Czechoslovakia. So we have a large army right now on the border of France as well. And we're not producing any more of those guys anymore after these guys are done. The last ones I will send to the Polish front. That is where the main part of the fighting will be done in the beginning at least. We finished Blitzkrieg, which will lead us to modern Blitzkrieg eventually, but first the Kampfgruppe. A Kampfgruppe was an ad hoc formation which was organized to carry out a specific task, which will increase our planning speed and recovery rate and organization for all our infantry, which is something we could also use. We still have a lot of infantry on the field. Well, look at that, we are pushing out about 5 tanks per day, but we are running a little bit of research shortage, and unfortunately Sweden can't deliver what we need anymore, so we're just gonna get it from Portugal. You did a good job, Sweden, but unfortunately we need to go elsewhere. We need to set a location for where our panzers will come and be on the field, and we're just gonna put it in Brandenburg, Berlin itself specifically. Put you in Berlin as well. And hopefully we will have at least 24 panzers ready for the war with Poland. And in the meantime we will keep building more and more panzers so that we have strong panzer divisions ready to fight the allies wherever they are. How much of support equipment do we have? Quite some. So I think it's time we add a little bit field hospitals to our divisions. We need a lot more motorized and support equipment. And we're gonna add a recon company. I think let's add a maintenance company as well immediately. It's gonna add up quite some bit. We're gonna get a maintenance company here as well, but not a field hospital here. Alright. So we are now in a big deficit on support equipment. Therefore, I want to up the production of support equipment a little bit more as well. How long do you expect it to take? 1,115 days. That's why we need to up the production a bit. We have enough political capital to get somebody here again. And I want to add a military high command. I'm going to go with an infantry expert first. An armor genius is something we want as well. Maybe we want that even more. So let's start with the armor genius. The genius is just a guy who has a better bonus than an expert, therefore it's pretty good. Talks have been held in Munich between the leaders of Germany, Britain, France and Italy to discuss the future of Czechoslovakia. Both the British and the French have accepted our claims to the Sudetenland as legitimate, and their previous offer of support to the Czechs have been resigned. Recognizing the hopelessness of the situation, the Czechs have surrendered the Sudeten territory to us. Their oppressed German inhabitants will at long last be brought into the Vaterland. This is an historic day for Germany, where we gain more cores. German demands for Sudeten territory in Czechoslovakia, which is home to a considerable German minority, has intensified. At a summit held in Munich, Germany, Britain, France and Italy sought to find a diplomatic solution to the so-called Sudeten crisis. Czechoslovakia was not invited to attend. An agreement was reached in which Germany annexed the Sudetenland, but will not pursue any further territorial gains in Europe. Mr. Chamberlain spoke to crowds in London. For the second time, a Prime Minister has returned from Germany, bringing peace with honor. I believe it is peace for our time. Oh, you couldn't have been more wrong. Let's go and do the first Vienna Awards. The Hungarians were once one of the people that suffered worst after the Great War. In the slaughter of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, many Hungarians were stranded on foreign soil, though their ancestors had lived there for ages. We could greatly improve our relations with Hungary by awarding them some territories from Czechoslovakia. And we will. Oh, we will. An ultimatum has been delivered to the Albanian government by the Italian diplomats, demanding that they submit to complete military occupation. King Zog has abdicated after realizing the futility of resistance, and Albania will now be ruled in a personal union under King Victor Emmanuel III. Italy looks to the Balkans, another victor of Mussolini's ambition. Well, Italy, I hope you go strong to join our faction, because I want you in my faction, buddy. You're gonna be glorious. Let's increase our artillery technology as well. We want to actually start producing artillery too as soon as possible. We might actually be a little bit late on that already. We get some better machine tools. Let's start producing some weapons too as well. We have almost enough infantry equipment already, so might as well try and get that. We need more tungsten. Get more tungsten. So we're spending quite a lot of our trade factories on getting tungsten. But at least we don't have to get oil as well, because, well, that will make things a lot more difficult if we need to get both tungsten and oil. And the first Panzer division will almost be done. Really good to see. And we have finished the research of the Panzer IV. We can also start researching the Hummel, which is a artillery version of the Panzer IV, and it will increase our soft attack immensely. I'm not sure if we want to go for that. I mean, the Panther is still quite far away, and the Grill 12, I don't think we're gonna get that. We might as well improve some of our brigades over here, because we're using all of these brigades. So yeah, let's start researching that instead of doing something that we won't have the production for anyway at the moment. We're still producing some of the cavalry divisions. We right now have 60 of them going around. That's quite a lot, but we're gonna need them sooner rather than later, and we want to have a strong defense of our ports and stuff like that. Decryption is done, let's go for some encryption as well. And we're not gonna focus on radars because we don't have the production to start building them anyway. In the meantime, our production of support equipment is on a full line. How much do you expect? 550 days. That's still quite a lot, but it's ticking down as we speak. Get more tungsten. And the first Vienna awards are done, and Italy can be invited to the faction, so let's. Well, we go to the fate of Czechoslovakia. And Italy has accepted their invitation. Italy is now part of the Axis as well. But we're going to discuss the fate of Czechoslovakia in a moment. You guys should be mixed together. You should be added to the Panzer. We have 3 military factories. And I'm just gonna build more tanks with them. Oh, we should update our tank here as well. So we go from 60% efficiency to 30. Take away half of it. But still, it's quite a lot. So this will reduce the amount of tanks being produced a little bit. Also because this new variant will cost more production to build. But we will have really strong tanks. And once we start raking up some army experience, we will be able to make a variance out of it as well. That will reduce the efficiency only by a very little amount, and we'll get even better tanks. I think we will focus first on building a better engine for it, so it will go faster. But right now it is already really strong. It has a speed of 9.4 kilometers per hour because we gain an extra 5% from our company. More tungsten. And we can modify our government. Let's get the infantry expert. So normally around this time we would declare war on Poland already, but we have some time. I think I will go down the anti-common pact maybe first. How is America's doing? 49% is already fascist. Those fascist bastards. Or maybe not. Maybe I want to wait a little bit until America is actually fascist so they can sign the anti-Comintern pact as well. The end of Czechoslovakia is at hand, and our forces are marching into Prague at this very moment. With the surrender of the Czechoslovakian military, we have liberated vast quantities of armament that, tanks in particular, should serve our forces well. Bohemian will be annexed into Germany as a protectorate, but what should we do? What should become of Slovakia? We can set them up as an autonomous puppet state under Josef Tiso. Or we can just give it to Hungary instead. We can annex it all, but I want to bind Hungary to me as well. So just give it to Hungary. German troops crossed into Bohemia and Moravia recently, ostensibly to restore order to the regions in the wake of collapsing Czechoslovakian government. In Prague, the occupying forces announced the creation of an autonomous protectorate within the Reich. Hungarian forces, operating with the consent of Germany, have marched into Slovakia and annexed it into Hungary. The nation of Czechoslovakia is no more. The Czechs must be protected from themselves. And now, Hungary is as well part of the Axis. The Axis is growing. We can go for the second Vienna Awards, but I don't think we really need that. We already have an alliance with Italy. We could go down for the alliance with Spain, which will be really powerful, but it's not necessary now. Actually, because Italy is already in the Axis, we will be able to skip it, because the following will bypass this focus. One of the following must be true. Is in a faction with Italy. We are in a faction with Italy, so we'll bypass it. But we will first reassert our eastern claims and then get Danzig. I think it's time for war with Poland. They have had peace for way too long. It's time for them to show the true force of the German Reich. And we don't really have that much panzers yet. I wish we had more. But we're still building some and training some. Mainly it's sport equipment that we lack, but for our tanks it is absolutely the amount of tanks that we have. And that is the problem with playing on veteran difficulty. You will produce a lot less. Let's get with some improved artillery as well. Get some better encryption. And this is a little bit ahead of time, but I will start with that. And let's see the United States. What kind of focuses did they went for? We can't see what they are going for right now, but right now they're funding the Navy. Are they majority already a fascist? Not yet, but in a couple of days they will be. So about 120 days, I assume it is. Yeah, it's going faster actually than I thought. So it's only 20 days left. Wow. 15. And then they have a majority of fascism in their country. Who would have thought? More Panzers. More tungsten. Did we actually get it? Yeah. And this is hampering our construction, but we still have quite a lot of factories building stuff for us right now, so that's absolutely fine. Field Hospital 2 is done. Excellent. I want a better maintenance company as soon as possible as well. And our infantry equipment 2 is also almost done, so we can start upgrading our infantry equipment a little bit. What do we go for now? Don't need any of this. I think we just go for recon company then. Did they become a majority? There it is. Majority fascist in America. So soon they will start becoming, I think it's the Free United States? Something like that. But that's gonna be it for this episode. Next episode, I think we'll see a war with Poland. And I think we will see a fascist United States as well. But that's all in the next episode. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.